Okay, try this for a second. Imagine feeling a sharp, cramping pain in your right foot. Got it? Now, imagine you don't have a right foot. And no, that's not a trick question. It's a very real, very baffling medical mystery called phantom limb pain. It's like a ghost in our own neural machine. So let's dive in and see how it all works.
So yeah, that's the central paradox we're tackling here, right? I mean, on the surface, it sounds completely impossible. How can your nervous system possibly send a pain signal from a part of your body that is, well, physically gone? It's a question that kind of challenges our whole understanding of perception and reality itself.
And let's be super clear about this. Phantom limb pain, or PLP, isn't just in someone's head. It's not a hallucination. It's not like they're just imagining it. This is a genuine, measurable sensory experience that is being generated by the nervous system. The pain is absolutely real, even if the limb isn't.
To really get a handle on just how real this is, we've got to look at how common it is. Because this experience of feeling an invisible limb, it isn't some rare medical curiosity. It's an almost universal part of the amputation experience.
Yeah, you heard that right. Somewhere between 80 and 90% of all amputees report experiencing some kind of phantom sensation. Think about that. The vast majority feel a connection to a limb that is no longer physically attached to their body. It just shows how stubbornly the brain holds on to its map of view. And out of that huge group, a pretty significant majority, we're talking 60 to 64%, don't just feel a presence, they feel actual pain. And this isn't just a minor annoyance either. It can be a severe, chronic condition that really impacts a person's quality of life. So, what exactly does it feel like?
Well, the sensations themselves are all over the map. It's not just one thing. People report everything from, a simple tingling or an itch to this intense, stabbing pain. They can feel their phantom hand clenching or their phantom toes getting cold. Some even experience this bizarre thing called telescoping, where it feels like the phantom limb is slowly shrinking over time. It's this whole rich, multi-sensory world created entirely by the brain.
Okay, so we know what it is, and we know what it feels like. But the big question is why? Why does this happen? How does the brain conjure up these ghost signals? Well, the answer involves a pretty complex chain reaction. It starts way down at the nerves and goes all the way up to the brain itself.
You can really see it as this chain reaction. It all kicks off right at the amputation site. The severed nerves there can form these tangled bundles that just start firing off random, chaotic signals, false alarms. Then, the spinal cord, which is now kind of on high alert, takes those signals and amplifies them. But the real drama, the heart of the problem, is in the brain. It still has this detailed, active map of the limb that's gone, and it's expecting information from it, information that never comes. And that mismatch between what it expects and what it gets, that can trigger a massive pain alert.
Think of your brain's body map, like real estate. When the area for, say, your hand goes silent after an amputation, that bit of cortical real estate is suddenly vacant. So what happens? The neighbors, like the map for your face or your upper arm, start to expand and take over that unused territory. This is something called maladaptive cortical reorganization. And the result is these totally crossed signals. A touch on the cheek might suddenly be felt as a sensation in the phantom hand. Wild, right?
And get this, it's not just a hardware problem in the brain. Your mind, your psychology, plays a huge role. Stress and anxiety can basically crank up the volume on these pain signals. If the limb was already painful before the amputation, the brain can hold on to that pain memory. And even just focusing your attention on the phantom limb can make the sensations feel way more intense. It's this powerful and sometimes vicious feedback loop.
All right, so if the whole problem is a confused brain map, how on earth do you fix it? I mean, you can't exactly treat a limb that isn't there. Well, the solution, it turns out, is to retrain the brain itself. And the methods for doing this are absolutely ingenious. So at its core, you can boil it down to this. The problem is a conflict, a mismatch between the brain's internal blueprint of the body and the body's new reality. The solution, then, is to resolve that conflict. You have to give the brain new, convincing information that helps it update its map. You basically have to trick it. And maybe the most famous trick of all is mirror therapy. It's as simple as it is profound. You place a mirror so it reflects the person's intact limb while hiding the amputated one. So now the patient's brain sees the missing limb in the mirror. When they move their real hand, they see the phantom hand in the reflection moving perfectly normally. And this powerful visual feedback can help resolve that sensory conflict, often giving immediate relief from pain, especially cramping or stuck sensations. It's incredible.
And mirror therapy is really just the beginning. Today, clinicians are using all sorts of amazing techniques. We're talking virtual reality that lets patients control a digital version of their missing limb, advanced surgeries like targeted muscle reinnervation, or TMR, that actually reroute the old nerves, and even transcranial magnetic stimulation, which uses magnets on the outside of the head to influence the brain itself. All of these different treatments, they all share one goal: talk to the brain's map and help it adapt.
So let's just zoom out for a second. This whole phenomenon is so much more than a medical curiosity. The very existence of phantom limbs really forces us to ask some deep, deep questions about the nature of reality and our own perception.
This quote just nails it. The mind's perception of the body can be as powerful and as painful as the body itself. It really gets to the heart of the matter. Our experience of our body isn't just about what's physically there. The brain's model of the body, its perception, can generate sensations that are just as real and just as agonizing as any physical injury.
So let's be absolutely clear. A phantom limb is not an illusion. It's not a trick of the light. It is a real, perceptual experience, constructed entirely by a brain that is still running the software for a piece of hardware that's been disconnected. It's a powerful, powerful demonstration that what we perceive isn't a direct copy of the world, but an active and sometimes stubborn construction.
And that leaves us with this final thought. If your brain can make you feel in vivid, agonizing detail a limb that isn't there, make it itch, make it move, make it ache with pain, then what does that say about the rest of your perceptions? It really makes you wonder, what is perception really?